Hi, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day. Yeah. My name is Emily Epp, and I am a Canuck Place sibling. I would like to start by saying thank you to the Canucks for Kids Fund and Canuck Place for inviting me to speak tonight. I feel extremely honored to have this opportunity and have some incredibly jealous friends back at home in Kelowna. I'm here tonight to tell you how much Canuck Place means to my family and to thank you for opening your hearts tonight at the Canucks for Kids Dice and Ice Gala and for supporting the work at Canuck Place. My story starts in the water. When I was really young, I was terrified of the water. My parents enrolled me in swim lessons when I was 7 years old, and to everyone's surprise, I stopped screaming in the pool and learned to swim. When I was 9, I started swimming with a competitive swim club called the Kelowna Aquajets. At our year-end banquet, a guest speaker named Brent Hobbs spoke about his successful English Channel swim, and that night I went home and told my parents I was going to do that one day. Of course, they did not take me seriously since I had only been swimming for a few years, but I always had that dream in the back of my mind. I have 2 younger sisters, Elan and Erin. When my middle sister, Elan, was 16 months old, she experienced a demyelinating episode following a viral infection that caused her to lose most of her motor control and speech. The years that followed were extremely difficult for her and my family. She struggled with incredible pain due to chronic pancreatitis, hip dislocations, and severe scoliosis. She had major complications following her spinal surgery in 2011, causing her to cry and vomit for many hours of the night and day. This is when our family was first referred to Canuck Place for pain and symptom management. Within a few weeks of Elan receiving treatment ideas from the Canuck Place physicians and nursing team, she stopped vomiting and her pain was much less intense. We were able to laugh and play with her again, and my parents could finally sleep. I was 11 and my youngest sister Erin was 7 when we began staying at Canuck Place. To us, staying there was just all about having fun. We played games and did some really amazing activities with the volunteers and recreation therapists. We made crafts, played dress up, ate way too many delicious cookies prepared by the kitchen staff, but we were always reminded to be sensitive about the other families who were also staying there at the house. But it wasn't until I was older that I really began to understand what was happening. I now appreciate how difficult those years were for my parents and how hard they tried to keep everything normal for Erin and I in spite of Elan's poor health and constant needs. Respite and medical support from Canuck Place changed all of our lives for the better, and we are very grateful for the doctors, nurses, and volunteers. So now I'm going to take you back to the water and my English Channel dream. When I was 13 years old, Brent Hobbs approached me about training to swim the English Channel. My parents nervously agreed to allow me to begin the process, and I soon began a grueling 4 years of long hours in the pool and even longer open water swims. I really had no idea what I was getting myself into. I swam in the pool all year round, continuing to train with the Kelowna Aquajets, and from April to November, I did open water training in the Okanagan Lake. It was normal for me to swim 20 to 30 hours a week, and much of that was in extremely cold water. As many of you know, it takes a lot of time, commitment, and in my case, hypothermia, to train to be at your best, and I was fortunate to have a lot of great people helping me along the way. Once I completed a mandatory 6-hour qualifying swim in less than 15-degree water, my mom finally agreed to book our flights to England. Many English Channel swimmers raise money for a charity when they swim. I immediately knew I wanted to raise money for Canuck Place. I set a lofty goal of $4,000, and nervously we started promoting my swim. The last big training swim before we left for England was a 35-kilometer swim around Bowen Island. After this swim, I was fortunate to gain the attention of 2 incredible organizations, Kids Helping Kids and Nicola Wealth Management. They matched donation dollars, and with their help, I was able to raise approximately $120,000 for Canuck Place. On July 14th, 2017, at 3 p.m., I stepped into the water off of Dover Coast and began my swim. To have an officially recognized English Channel swim, I was not allowed to wear a wetsuit, only a swimsuit, swim cap, and goggles. I also wasn't allowed to stop swimming or hold on to the guide boat that was beside me the entire time. This guide boat kept me safe from the huge ships that continued to travel through the English Channel and navigated my swim through the different currents. In addition to the strong currents and big waves, the English Channel has many jellyfish. We were all a bit anxious the first time I was stung, but after a while, I got used to it. Counting the jellyfish helped me pass the time and kept me focused. A few hours into my swim, I became horribly seasick, as did my parents on the boat. And so instead of drinking a highly nutritious drink, every 30 minutes we switched to M&Ms and ginger ale, desperate for anything that could get sugar into me. About 6 hours into my swim, the sun set and everything got dark. Weirdly, I have always enjoyed swimming at night and felt much better and more relaxed once it got dark. The day of my swim was also Bastille Day in France, so the boat captain would joke with me that the fireworks were for me. As part of my training, I often visualized what the end of my swim would look like. I would finish on a sandy white French beach, people would be cheering for me, I would pose for photos, and collect a souvenir rock from the beach. However, that is not at all what happened. The current ended up taking me to an area of the French coastline called Cape Grenade, cliffs and large rocks. My swim ended with me getting pummeled into the rock cliff so hard that I had bruises on my hips and arms and tore my bathing suit. Not the graceful finish I had been dreaming about for 4 years. It was okay, though, because I was finished my swim, which was approximately 45 kilometers in 11 hours and 57 minutes. People have always asked me how I kept going. I have seen incredible bravery in the kids at Canuck Place, and my sister, Elan, is one of the toughest people that I know. I chose to raise money for Canuck Place because I know how difficult life can be for the children and families who go there. Knowing that the Canuck Place staff, families, and donors were also following my swim helped me to keep going because I knew they were all cheering for me. I knew I could do it because of them. As a Canuck Place sibling, I can assure you that every dollar raised for Canuck Place directly benefits the many families who desperately need help across BC and the Yukon. Thank you again for supporting the Canuck Place Children's Hospice through the Canucks for Kids Fund.